Hello there friends, this is Grace again, and this time I'm showing you a pile it up video of me trying to pile up as much wafer thin die cuts that I can in a layout. And I'm using, these are diversion dies I used to design for them, and that's why I have a ton of them. But I showed you earlier the kind of dies that I wanted to use. This is a half circle die, which is originally you can cut them around or cut them twice to make a scallop circle. But instead of making a whole circle, I decided that I was going to use it kind of like a border punch. And so I'm just adhering it to my pattern paper, and then it will cut just half of it, so it will create that scallop border. And I thought that was cool. Now, I actually have a playlist of my Pile It Up series in this in my YouTube channel. So if you're interested to see on the other Pile It Up videos that I have made and what kind of products that I have featured, please look at that playlist. I'm going to cut the word happy and remember on white cardstock, and I wanted to cut that um, I believe it's like a corner die. I forgot what it's called, but it says this is great, and so I'm going to cut that out in white as well. Now I want to apologize because for some reason, I don't know what's going on with my video, but it keeps on cutting off, and I wouldn't know it till after when I go edit it. So there are some parts in this video that you wouldn't see me make or do until you've seen the final layout, and I apologize for that. I went and cut these flowers, or I think these are like stems and leaves, that's what it's called, and I cut 3 of them, but I'm only poking the holes of one of them because the other 2, my original thought was that I was just going to use the circle around the image for kind of a border around a circle cardstock, and I will show you later on what I use it for. But I also cut the fish. If you can see that on the top left hand side of my video, I cut them in 3 different papers that are glittered, which I thought was really fun. They're purple, green, and blue. Now this layout is about our first pet, I would have to say. We called him Mr. Fishy. He was a goldfish that was needing a home. The goldfish came from the science room in my kids' school, and the science teacher sent out a note just before school ended about 2 years ago. And she says that because of school ending, the science room will be closed, and so we have goldfish that needed some home. And so my kids begged me so I can sign up and take one of these home. And it was kind of interesting because I thought that this poor thing wouldn't last us a week, but it actually lasted us a year and a half. And unfortunately, my kids killed it because we fed him too much. So that goes to show that my kids are not ready for an actual, live, um, I mean, a bigger pet, I should say, because we might overfeed them and just die. So as you can see, I had cut out the circles from those leaves cut, and I'm using them as a border. And they're not the perfect circle because I had to cut the leaves out of them, but I like them, but I'm only going to use 2 of them. And then this is my layout, starting with the brown base and then the green. The pattern papers are from Basic Gray, and the cardstock is from Die Cuts with a View. And as you know me, I try to save as much as I can, especially with background paper that are going to be covered, so I can use that for card making because I also do cards, and so I love to have scraps of paper. And so I'm just kind of measuring my green paper so I know how much to cut of it, because I don't need the whole thing because I have that border. And you're going to see that I'm, because I wasn't really happy with the way the layout of this page was going. And so I'm going to, at the final picture of the layout, you're going to see me turn this around 90 degrees, but to my left. So the border will be on the top of the page instead of this right side. Because I wasn't liking the layout, as you can see right here, that corner "this is great" just wasn't showing very well. So that's why I flipped the layout or the design of this page. And now I'm just trimming that piece that I had cut out, kind of making the ends of it nicer, that it didn't look like it just got cut out from a circle. And I really wanted to use this leaf because, after all, I went through all that hard work poking all that leaves. But I'm gonna change the placement of it later on. And then the word "happy" and the word "remember" I'd cut out on white paper, but for some reason it wasn't showing really well on my page. It's just kind of, it was just blending with the green, and so I'm going to eventually use some of that glitter blue paper and cutting it, um, cutting those two words from it again, and then kind of offsetting it onto the white so it has somewhat of a white shadow to it. And that's what I did with both the word "remember" and "happy." Now the "happy" is going to be part of my title. It's going to say "Happy Mr. Fishy." And as you can see in these pictures, there was not much colors to work with, and so I wanted to have some, some brightness to my page, but I didn't want it to be too overwhelming that it will take away from the color of the fish on the page. And so here I am, and I'm going to I'm going to cut those two words again with the glitter paper. And I actually didn't cut him very well, and so I tried to cut him again, but because I was in a hurry, I didn't put washi tape over him, and the dies kind of moved around for me, and so I just worked with whatever I had because this was the only blue glitter paper that I had in my stash. This is me trying to redo it because I didn't cut it really well. And it's the little "remember" word's gonna shift, see right here. And so I just decided, to just stop before I make any more messes and just go with what I already have. That's the thing about these thick papers, is that if you don't run it through really like a lot, then it wouldn't cut very well. And then here I am just trying to take out all the little dots and excess paper. And then I decided that that little circle with the fish, I wanted to mimic water, or at least kind of like a fish tank. And so I have this swirly embossing folder from Cuttlebug, and I inked it with some blue. And then I'm going to run it through my machine, which I couldn't run it through here because I forgot that I had put in the wrong plates. So now I'm going to put the right plates on, and then it goes through, and then there's that um, kind of swirly design, but with some blue accents. And here is my final page. I added a stamping for my date, and then a little flare, and then some rhinestone for the eyes of the fishes, and then my leaf cut, and there it is. Again, if you want to see any more of my videos, please subscribe and hit like, and I will see you when I see you. Thank you. Bye.